Thanks for joining me for this quick build session. We're not going to be here for that long, but we're going to use the time to warm up, build some of that energy inside of us to get ready for whatever's coming next in our day. So I'll invite you to join me in tabletop. So hands roughly underneath the shoulders, knees roughly underneath the hips. And just take some movement forwards and backwards, warming up the wrist. Here, if you're feeling there's quite a bit of pressure in your wrist, or if you're not, you're going to spread your fingers out in front of you and then push into the pads of your fingers, directing that weight away from your wrists. You might want to take some circles around. And then when you're ready, I invite you to find some stillness, keeping your back neutral and not forgetting your neck, not letting your neck drop, push up, but remembering that your neck should be in alignment with the rest of your spine. Then on an inhale, I invite you to drop the belly, tilting your pelvis up towards the sky and lifting the crown of your head up towards the sky. And then on an exhale, curving the other way, spine tucking, tail tucking under, and crown of the head to the floor. And on an inhale, go back, dropping the belly, tilting the pelvis and crown up to the sky. And on an exhale, back the other way. And I invite you to continue with your own breath, dropping the belly as you inhale and curving back through your spine on an exhale. You might want to keep this cat-cow quite traditional, but you also might want to take some movement. Maybe you go in circles, the other way, try a figure of 8. Take whatever movement your body needs. You might want to come all the way down into child's pose, and then inhale back up. Maybe taking another 5 to 7 breaths here in your own time, giving your body what it needs. And if at any point you need to come off your wrists, you might want to sit back, give them a wave, taking that pressure off. So when you're ready, find that stillness again in your tabletop, neutral spine. I'm going to invite you to tuck your toes under if they're not already. Pushing through your hands, pushing through your toes. And we're going to lift into a hovering cat. So keeping this position, we're just going to push into our toes and our hands and lift our knees off the ground. Only an inch or so. The closer you are to the ground, the more difficult it is. So you choose what you need today. I'm going to do that for 3 breaths. So on an exhale, we're going to rise up. And you might start to feel the wobble. I'm feeling it already. Pushing through your hands. One final breath in. And out. And lowering back down. You might want to tap your feet out if you're feeling that's quite difficult on your feet. Coming off your wrists. Sitting back. Just taking some movement that suits you today. I'm going to give that another go. Okay, so back down, we're going to do this hovering cat again. Not forgetting to push through your shoulders, away from the ground. We don't want to be collapsing in. Okay, so on an inhale, breathe in, breathe out, and then lift your knees up. Pushing into the ground with your fingers, your toes. Final inhale. Exhale and back down. Don't know about you, today I'm feeling that on my shoulders. Where you feel it, if you do it all, is totally going to depend on how your body is and what else you've been doing. Okay, taking any movement suits you, that suits your wrists, feet. I'm going to do that. Promise you for the last time in this practice. Of course, if it's not playing with you today and you don't want to do it, you can always come into a child's pose and give this a little bit of a miss. For those who want to join me, I'm going to go now. So inhale, exhale, and on your inhale, lift your knees off the ground. And if you're actually quite far off the ground here, maybe your butt's up, maybe you can encourage your knees to lower a little bit. You might feel that core working hard, that prana, that energy causing you to shake. Final inhale and exhale, lower back down. Oh, quite tired. I like to come up onto my knuckles a little bit, just give my wrists a little bit of a rest, bend them the other way. And now I'm going to encourage you to take a child's pose. It's quite hard. Straight into it today. And here I'll encourage you to focus on your breath. Taking a full inhale till you don't feel like you can take in any more breath. And then let it out with a sigh until you're super, super empty. Or maybe that'll encourage you to lengthen your breath a little bit compared to normal. But find something that feels relatively natural, but is going to keep fueling you. When you're ready on an inhale, I'll invite you to join me back in tabletop. So hands roughly underneath the shoulders, knees roughly underneath the hips. And we're going to try here to keep as balanced as possible. So imagine you've got a cup of tea or a glass of wine, whatever your favorite drink is, on your back. And you don't want that to fall. You don't want to be wasting all that good fluid. And we're going to lift our left leg up behind us, extending it back behind us. Doesn't have to be super high. Actually, we want to keep our back quite neutral. So I'd encourage your heel to be roughly level with your hip. And you want to keep that pressure roughly equal between your hands. Keep that balance. And your pelvis also will be dropping, but actually you want that to be level as well. And if that's feeling good for you, you might also want to lift up and extend that right arm out in front of you. And then to add a little bit more fire to this practice, on an exhale, bring that knee and elbow together. Inhale, extend it back out. We're going to do that another 2 times. So exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend out. Doing great. Last one. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, expand. And then with control, bring your knee and your hand back underneath. And we're going to go straight into the other side. So we're in this tabletop. I'm going to extend our right leg out behind us, keeping those hips level, the shoulders level, that drink still on your back, and dialing those toes to the floor like you're pushing a wall away behind you. And if that's feeling good for you, you want a little bit more fire, bring that left arm up in front of you. And on an exhale, bring that knee to elbow, curling the back. And then inhale, back out, and do that twice more. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale all the way out. Final one. And when you're ready with control, coming back into that tabletop, you might want to come sit back on your heels. As a change, I'd encourage you maybe tuck your toes under and sit back, sitting up, stretching down the back soles of your feet. This can be quite tough if you've got tight feet, so if you need to be more leaning forward, that's totally okay. It builds with time. There are days I can't do this without my eyes watering even here. Some days I can sit all the way up and feel like, yeah, this is okay. So pick your poison today. What suits your body? Maybe put some movement in your wrists, your hands. We've been on them quite a lot. And when you're ready, join me in that tabletop again. Maybe inch your hands a little bit forward, and we're going to take our first downward facing dog. So peeling your hips up to the sky and pedaling out your legs. So we're looking at hips towards the sky, extending your back. Doesn't matter at all whether your knees are bent, whether your heels are touching the ground. Give yourself a little bit of a break. It's not about the expectation of what we could do yesterday, what other people can do. This is about us and our time on the mat. And once you feel like you've taken the movement you need, I encourage you to find stillness. And on your next inhale, slowly walk your way up to the front of the mat. I have quite tight hamstrings, so I quite like taking lots of baby steps, pushing my heels down to the ground, lengthening out the backs of my legs. And you'll find yourself in a forward fold. Bend your knees as generously as you feel like you need. Hanging here. Maybe you take some gentle movement side to side, rolling your neck, nodding it up and down, left to right. When you're ready, on an inhale, take a halfway lift. So flat back position, extending the crown of your head forward. Maybe you straighten your legs a little bit more, hands on your shins. And then back down into that forward fold. Then on an exhale, we're going to step our right foot back into a runner's lunge. And here you've got the option to lower your knee, or if you're wanting a little bit more fire today, you might want to keep that up. And I encourage you to shine your chest forward and up. If you can, be light on your fingertips. You might want some blocks underneath your hands, or you can hover. You really want to feel that in your glutes, in your legs. And then you've got the option to lift yourself up into a high lunge. Keep yourself where you are, with your knee on the ground, raising your arms to the sky. Maybe your gaze follows. And then we're going to take some cactus arms and dips. So we're going to inhale, lengthen up to the sky. Exhale, bend that back knee, cactus your arms, drawing your shoulder blades together, and dip. And then back up. We're going to do another 2 of these. Exhale, bend your arms, cactus them, dip. Inhale, back up. Last one. And then here we've got the option of a warrior 3. I like to bring my back foot forward a little bit. And we're going to keep that straight line. And tips of the fingers down the back, right to our back heel. And when you're ready, you might want to tilt forward. This might be your warrior 3 today. Maybe you don't have the space. Maybe you're not feeling it. And this is great. Key is to keep that straight line down your back body. You don't have to come parallel to the ground, but if you do want to, you feel like it's in your practice today, you can tip forward. And on exhale, come back to standing, bringing your arms down into that Tadasana. Maybe shake out a little bit. Before we do that again, on the other side. So inhale, hands up to the sky, maybe you look up and dive forward into your forward fold. Hang here maybe feels a bit different to last time. Maybe you're feeling a bit lopsided. We've done a little bit of one side, but nothing on the other. Okay. On an inhale, take your halfway lift, extending the crown of the head forward. And then exhale back down to a forward fold. And on an exhale, whenever your next one is, step that left foot back into your runner's lunge. Shining your chest up and forward, maybe come light on your toes. Always got the option to keep your knee on the ground, if that's what your body needs today. And then if you want to join me in that high lunge, lift up and then arms to the sky, whatever position you're in, looking up to the sky. Inhale, extend up, and then exhale, cactus your arms and dip that knee. And go up on an inhale, exhale, cactus your arms, dip your knee. Inhale up, last one. Exhale, dip back down and up. Okay, here's the option for that warrior 3. Extending up, maybe light on your back toes, keeping a straight line from the tips of your fingers down your back to your back heel. And then starting to tilt forward as far as it is that you can keep that straight line. It might be totally different on this side. That's okay. And on an exhale, come back to standing. Lower your arms. Shake it out a little bit. Give yourself a bit of a rest. Grateful for what your body can do, getting yourself on the mat today, creating this energy. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.